What's up, everybody? Today I am going to be looking at Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is a book I actually reviewed sort of already in my top 10 fantasy books from 2020, as it was number one on that list. So I wanted to go into more depth on this book, and that's what we're going to do in this video. So I have a general rule that I follow. I almost never pay more than around $12 for a book, which is about 400 baht here in Thailand. I paid 540 baht for Jade City, nearly $16, which is more than I would usually ever pay for a book. But I did that because I just had a strong intuition that I would love this book, and I was not disappointed. Fonda Lee has admitted to doing major research on kung fu flicks and crime families in preparation for writing this book, and it shows. Jade City is described as Mario Puzo's Godfather, crossed with Asian martial arts and fantasy. I can't think of many things that I would rather read. Lee has amalgamated the Corleone family, Chinese martial arts, Yakuza elements on a Japanese-esque island, gem-infused superpowers, and a Brandon Sanderson-style magic system into something unique, captivating, and entertaining. You can't help but draw comparisons while reading this book. The island of Kekon, not sure how to say it, is reminiscent of Japan in the sense that they seem to guard their culture and heritage from outsiders. Most of this individuality and isolationism comes from their island being the only source of jade, an immensely valuable gem that in this book bestows special powers to those who wear it, if they have the right heritage. The clans who wield it are essentially gangsters, mafia, or yakuza. These clans protect the jade supply from outside influence and access, similar to how traditional Chinese martial arts excluded foreigners. One of these clans is the Kaul family, and they are essentially the protagonist here, and we'll get to know them intimately. Once again, the comparisons are there to be made. The head of the family is Lan, who can be a fierce fighter, but is more well known for being calm and rational and a patient, clever leader. He doesn't have the sheer gravitas or legendary backstory to be a foil of Don Corleone, but there are some parallels. Like on page 106, when he declined aggressive overtures from a rival clan. I'm going to decline any alliance or partnership with the mountain when it comes to the production of shine. However, we won't stand in their way either. They're free to pursue their venture, so long as it doesn't threaten any of No Peak's businesses or territories. To me, this was a clear nod to when Don Corleone and The Godfather turned down an offer to get involved in the heroin business, shine being similar to heroin. There was money to be made, but he was old fashioned and it violated his moral code. Same situation here for Lan, and further on, the reader will see similar consequences. His younger brother, Hilo, is remarkably similar to Sonny Corleone. He's hot-headed, strong, fiercely loyal to his family, charming, and dangerous. And his sister Shay has shadows of Michael. She tries to distance herself from the family business to go her own way. But when her family is threatened, she will be pulled back into a war where her skills fit effortlessly. Now, some might see all these similarities and think, what, this is like a cheap knockoff. That wasn't my impression at all. To me, it felt like a thoughtful and well done homage to the genre, and Puzo in particular, and I enjoyed it immensely. The world building here is excellent. The island has a clear culture, it has different ethnicities, it has different parts of town with their own histories and prejudices. Lee never info dumps, but rather slowly builds the world by trickling out these anecdotes and backstories here and there. And what results is a believable, interesting, and intriguing world. Like on page 68, where a Kekanese stereotype and custom is explained. One could not go to any sizable social gathering without some physical duel breaking out. Anything from spitting seeds into cups to a heated game of relay ball to actual fights. It was customary politeness after such matches, which were usually benign but sometimes deadly serious, for the victor to voice a self-deprecating comment. The wind was in my favor. I had more to eat today. Or to extend some praise that allowed his opponent to save face. You would be unbeatable with better shoes. Lucky for me, your arms were sore, no matter how minor or unlikely the explanation. Living in Asia for the past 10 years, this sort of custom seems totally believable and adds an authenticity to the world that we're reading about. Another example of this is how the Kekanese pull on their earlobe to ward away bad luck. These are minor details, but when you read about the characters doing them repeatedly in the right situations, it gives the world verisimilitude. So when Hilo recites his Green Bone clan oaths to his brother, the words carry weight because the world Lee has built feels real. This is from page 189. The clan is my blood, and the pillar is its master. Should I ever be disloyal to my brother, may I die by the blade. Should I ever fail to come to the aid of my brother, may I die by the blade. Should I ever seek personal gain at the expense of my brother, may I die by the blade. On my honor, my life, and my Jade. That gets me fired up just reading it. Despite this book being clearly focused on the Call family, other characters get excellent treatment as well. In an exchange between Call Shay and the boss lady of the rival mountain clan, Eight Mata, we get a terrifying backstory of how she rose to power, how she murdered her father and other powerful figures in the clan because he was too cowardly to name her his heir apparent. He forced her hand. As with everything Eight does, the story is calculated and has a purpose. The purpose being to put the fear of God into Shay for rejecting her proposal. From page 411, I won't kill you now. I want you to remember when you see your brother's Jade torn from his mangled body, when your clan lies in ashes, that you could have prevented it, but you didn't. You forced my hand. You'll remember. Woo. Just like Dostoevsky liked to write his antagonists more strongly than his protagonists, Lee has similarly built up Eight Maida. She's more ruthless, more accomplished, more clever, and more capable and more powerful than anyone in the Call family. This book also featured its own made-up sport, relay ball, which is briefly explained on page 249. A relay ball field consists of 7 zones separated by waist-high nets, 5 rectangular pass zones, and 2 triangular end zones. Each zone is occupied by 2 players, one from each side, who are not permitted to leave their enclosed space as they attempt to throw, hit, kick, or bounce the ball off their body to their teammates down the field, zone to zone, over the nets to the opposing team's end zone, where it is the job of the finisher to put the ball between the Guardians' point posts. As the game is essentially a series of violent one-on-one skirmishes, ample opportunity exists for personal as well as team enmity. I would have liked to see the sport developed further, but at least she's trying to do something cool and different and sport related here, which is something I always appreciate. Another thing I appreciated was that we spent almost no time in the martial arts training school. The whole fighting, magic, gifted school for kids trope has been done and done and done over and over again. And it's really cool that even though it's a proven commodity that works, it doesn't mean that you need to pick that low hanging fruit. Lee mentions the school and we get glimpses of what's going on there. But the reality is that it's just background noise to the family politics that take center stage here. Also, whoever edited this book, I applaud you. I almost always notice a few typos or mistakes while reading a book, and I didn't see a single one here in nearly 500 pages. That is amazing. This book is some sort of magical leftover stew. Sure, nearly all the ingredients have been used before in other places, but that doesn't discount that here they all come together to make something new, and it is delicious. One of the best books, if not the best book I read last year. Highly, highly recommend it to anyone interested in the genre, and very much looking forward to reading Jade War, which hopefully is in the mail and coming as we speak. So that's it for the review today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time on Ransom Reviews.